going to be doing a post commentary, which is only the second one I've ever done, so please bear with me. I just gotten up for the day, and some of the guys I play with were not online yet, so I decided I'd play a solo game, and I don't normally record my solo games. I decided I'd drop on this ARP and possibly the Dunkirk also at the same time, because they're running pretty packed together. It's at this point that I see the Leander there also, and so I'm going to start pulling off because it was getting a little bit closer than I wanted it to. I popped smoke to assist with the battleships behind me to keep them as much cover as I could while I'm able to spot for them. My torpedoes go out to 10K. I do have this ship fully upgraded. This game right here is actually post change. This is the tier 6 version of the Hatsuharu instead of the tier 7. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but you'll have to bear with me. It sports 2 double guns. Correction. It sports 2 dual 127 millimeters. And with that, it scored 5 hits total. A few on the Dunkirk and a few on the poor Cleveland that came out with it. The ones on the Cleveland, of course, killing it. I've now rotated back around. My guns and torpedoes are back on target, and I'm trying to select my next one. I see the New Mexico. It's keeping pretty true, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and dump onto it and keep into my smoke. My detection range is down here. It's 6.5. It's the outer dotted line. That's my detection by plane. I take the moment to use my smoke real quick, but then it goes out. Also notice there's a destroyer over there because they have their own smoke. I discontinue shooting my own guns this way I can try to get back into not being detected, as that Cleveland's figured out that I was there after killing his buddy. Torpedoes going into the New Mexico. One hit. With that one hit, it was able to take out his rudder. I decided I'll come about, see if I can't get to that Baron, and provide it smoke if I have it ready in time. But I can tell that Baron's not going to be able to make it. I'm having to get close to it with that Leander there and that Dunkirk. I want to try to take some of the heat off the Baron if I can. I'm noticing that he's getting hammered pretty hard, but he's staying true. So for a second there, I'm thinking about trying to dump him far. But at that moment, I see he's about to get wrecked. So I go ahead and get ready. Once I know he's definitely done for, I'll splash these torps. Dunkirk's secondary is coming in, starting to shoot at me, so I decided to go in. I changed my angling and immediately dump. The Dunkirk was almost done anyways, so I decided to also dump onto the Leander if I can. Start my guns up in my smoke. But it was already too late for that Dunkirk. He was done for. He took 3, only 1 actually needed to be counted. And that poor Leander doesn't know what's about to hit him because he's taken 2 also. There's a double strike. Well, so far I've got a hat trick. I've got 3 of the 4 kills our team's gotten so far. Daylight and dollar short for Ataka. So I decided to go ahead and continue on, go up toward the northern area of the south zone. Wanted to head to about right here to assist with protecting the base, because I see this battleship just storming straight in. Slightly suicidal with these battleships right here. At that point, he goes and starts turning out. I look over at the Cleveland, trying to see if he's going to go true. And then also on the New Mexico, because I'm looking to see that he's actually coming in into my torpedo range, which of course is that outside solid line. I go ahead and splash at him. Even if he turns out or whatnot, it'll get him going away. That's the point. Try to keep them facing and running away from Cap as much as possible. Keep them, you know, running scared. Looking around, notice that ARP's actually turning about to go ahead and stay going true. I'm wanting to get in here just in case if anything comes through the center area. It's at that moment I also noticed this Nuremberg is getting chased down by 2 battleships and a cruiser, and he's trying to get behind cover. So I decided I'll head that direction and assist him, because there's no more destroyers. They only had 1 destroyer, and it looks like he died right below that battleship right there as well. So I'm rushing off to help this Nuremberg, and I believe he noticed me once I actually started getting closer, because I want to go ahead and smoke up for him, try to get him safe. I mean, the Nuremberg is extremely easy to penetrate with AP shells, but on its own right, it's able to do some pretty good damage as well. Was hoping that he'd toss up a plane, or if he had any spotting ability to give me location on this cruiser and battleship. So since he wasn't able to, I'm trying to hug this island for as long as possible. I see him dump up that channel towards the Congo, and I thought about it for a second, but if you look at him, the Congo is already past the island. So I'm going to go ahead and try to start preparing that direction, knowing that cruiser should be coming in any moment, and it may be within the 6.5 detection range. And there it is. He's definitely within the 6.5 detection range, but I'm already past. He's not able to get a shot on me. I see that Congo coming in, and he is just full steam. He has not changed, even though that guy saw me. He is just asking for it. So I'm going to go ahead and, even though I have to get close to this island and possibly ram it, I had my smoke ready, plus I'm able to splash out those torps on that guy. With him not going and moving it at all, I was pretty confident those were going to hit him. I jump out Cap so I can get moving, and I also want to see how those torps were doing, knowing that Nuremberg was still going to be behind this island. And of course, 1 torp, 2 torp, 3 torp. That gave him a good amount of damage, and there's the Nuremberg spotting out with his radar. I decided I'm going to go ahead and start, since I'm spotted, I'll go and start gunning down the Congo since I can see him. He's down. That's my 4th kill. And there's Mr. Nuremberg. With that, I'm going to go ahead and try to run around this island, knowing I'm going to have to dodge some damage. Oh, pardon me, that's a Furtaken. If there's the Furtaken, having to go around this island knowing that I'm going to have to try to dodge a bunch of damage. He's not able to see me, but luckily with the Fuso over here, he has him spotted through that channel between my smoke and that island. Right, pretty much along this line. So I'm able to keep an eye on him and to know when to dump. My smoke circle is going to end about right there, though. So I hold up and let the battleship spot him for me. I go and splash a little early, knowing he's going to pick up speed while I'm tossing it into reverse. Toss some extra guns onto him. And there we go. There is my 5th kill. And now I see the Baron is all by himself. Nice little talk and chat with those guys. Of course, my guy trying to get their guy to come in hard to try to get himself killed. I'm watching this Baron, luckily still using the spotting from another ship and using this island as cover. Go ahead and start tossing out some salt, see if I can get him to come in, or to make a mistake, maybe see if I can get him to start typing. If he's typing, he can't do his rudder shift. And try to get into his head a little bit. I don't know exactly where he is, and they haven't gotten me a respot with that battleship, so I was going to go ahead and try to hug up against this island. With me seeing that he is right there, and he is continuing down, I'll go ahead and start backing up a little bit while the friendly Fuso spots for me. I go ahead and toss out smoke to try to keep from being spotted. There's that torp, and I toss the other torp wide, knowing that he's going to immediately start turning out since he saw me. Go and start firing. Some people, as soon as they get caught on fire, will repair. And if they do, once they get hit with the torpedo, they'll start flooding and take even more damage. There's another quick 4 torpedoes, and he's down. That's my 6th kill. Toss out some more salt into the water, and appreciate it, Mr. Fuso. Glad I could be your hero. Always nice whenever people actually appreciate your gameplay. Go ahead and let them know that I'm going to upload this replay. It took me a little bit long to upload it because they changed a couple of the ways that you have to actually do the replay since I've had to do one last. While we're sailing, let's go ahead and take a count of what we've got so far. We've got 5 incapacitations, 6 destructions, 18 causings of flood, 19 targets hit with torpedoes, 30 targets hit with main gun, 9 being penetrating damage, 21 being non-penetrating. Very common with the lower caliber weapons. However, with HE, you can still set fires with it. We have 2 fires set. My first blood, which was that poor Cleveland at the very beginning of the Dunkirk taking the extra. Devastating strike. The double strike that Leander and finishing off the Dunkirk. Yes, that was the Dunkirk that finished off back then. The high caliber, a Kraken, and a Confederate. It was at this time I see the Nuremberg is right there, and he's about to spot me, so I start turning northerly. I see he's getting close with the New Mexico, so I'm not wanting to splash on him, but I'm not wanting to let him get close to me either. Unavoidable. I couldn't hit this rock. A destroyer that's still is a dead destroyer. So try to go ahead and start tossing some HE onto him to get that extra hate into him. I notice he gets a good torpedo shots onto the New Mexico, so I go ahead and splash. Because the New Mexico's done some pretty good damage onto him, although he is flooding, unfortunately. Rip New Mexico. Oh. And I got overconfident and forgot that Mr. Cleveland was up north. And I just took some damage from him, and here comes the good night shot from behind me. Well, with that, I was able to set him on fire, incapacitate his engine, and Mr. Fuso, who I was his hero before, was able to take him out. Goodbye, torpedoes. You'll be polluting the ocean. So, Mr. Cleveland's up here, all by himself, and he'll survive. For now. It's always nice whenever people on the other team are able to appreciate your battling also. You may be the one that has killed them or got them killed, but it's always good whenever you're thinking they have good sportsmanship. That's one thing that's important in a game like this, is always having good sportsmanship.